The 38-year-old father next.
Now, meteorologist Rich Lou saw a beautiful weekend, plenty of sunshine. Now, tomorrow, a cold front will approach from the west. That means showers and storms, especially Monday afternoon and evening. We'll talk about your 4th of July forecast coming right up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 10 starts now.
We want to welcome you to Fox 2 News at 10. I'm Hilary Golston. We start with a disturbing case out of Pontiac. A father accused of doing the unthinkable to his own children. Deputies say he brutally beat and choked his young son. Investigators say they found another child with what appeared to be cigarette burns on his body. That little boy is only 1 year old. Fox 2's Tanisha Cordell has been working this story for us tonight. And Tanisha, I'm sure the Oakland County Sheriff had some very strong words about these just horrific allegations.
Yeah, you know what we've learned, Hillary, about this case is horrific. It's disturbing, but also just heartbreaking. You know, the sheriff telling us that these kids live with their father, who did appear in court today facing some serious charges you can imagine regarding child abuse, and details revealing from that case showing that 9-year-old told deputies his dad beat and choked him because he fell asleep on the couch. A tragic Thursday night at a home here in Pontiac on South Edith Street.
This is horrific and never an acceptable situation.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard says 2 boys, a 9 and 1-year-old, were home alone. He says their dad, 38-year-old Cedric Moore, had gone to the store when the 9-year-old ran to a neighbor for help, calling 911.
The child couldn't articulate where the house was, and so they had to kind of work backwards from different ideas and clues, and even look for camera footage in the area.
And they did. Investigators learning about a possible history of abuse.
On this particular date, the older child had been beaten pretty heavily with a variety of things, including the wooden portion of a broom, and then choked to unconsciousness and told it was going to continue throughout the night. The younger child, according to the older child, had been thrown into the crib when the child was crying because he was hungry. And it looks like that baby, the 1-year-old, may have some historic injuries that may resemble burn marks like a cigarette.
Moore was arrested that same night, telling a relative he had been whooping his son for stealing. The 38-year-old charged with 2nd and 4th degree child abuse. His bond set at $100,000. The sheriff urging anyone aware of abuse like this to report it immediately.
To leave a child in a torture situation is unconscionable. Our humanity needs to rise to the surface and think of that child first.
Now, well, Sheriff Bouchard says this investigation is long from over. His team looking for any more signs of child abuse and any other indicators they can find inside that home where this family lived. Now, this team also trying to work to determine where these kids will live permanently. That 1-year-old we know is placed with Child Protective Services. That 9-year-old, again, still recovering tonight. Now, for Now Live reporting, I'm Tanisha Cordell, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, and Tanisha, we have found from meta-analysis, even from the NIH, that there's often an association between mental health and this kind of horrific abuse. Did investigators find anything about a connection between that with this father and maybe even a criminal record here?
Yeah, that's one of the questions we asked Sheriff Bouchard. He says right now there seems to be no signs of mental health there, and also no word yet just on the dad, if he had any run-in with police in the past. Now, we do know the 1-year-old's mother is incarcerated. Again, we know that 9-year-old still in the hospital. So all the circumstances, Sheriff saying, surrounding the situation are still under investigation. Lots more to uncover, but also top priority is just the safety, of these kids, Hillary.
All right, Tanisha Cordell, thank you so much for handling this difficult case with care. All right, we have some developing news tonight from the west side of Detroit, where police are investigating a fatal shooting. This happened this afternoon at a home on Mark Twain Street. Now, police say 2 teen siblings were shot. A 15-year-old boy was killed. His 13-year-old sister was wounded. The relationship between the suspect and the victims isn't known right now. The cause of that shooting is now under investigation. We've also got some new details on a deadly crash that happened last night on 94 near Gratiot. State police say a 27-year-old man from St. Clair Shores died. Investigators say he lost control of his Jeep, hit the median wall, and rolled over. Troopers also say the man tried to change lanes while another driver was doing the same thing, and the vehicles collided. The other driver apparently lost control and hit a tree, but wasn't hurt. This is a major news alert out of Idaho. 2 people have been gunned down. An active shooter ambushed multiple firefighters in Coeur d'Alene. Now, officials say this afternoon the crew was working a brush fire near a hiking area, and authorities are still considering it an active shooter situation at this time. They'd issued a shelter-in-place order. Now, the sniper allegedly started the fire, and when law enforcement and firefighters got there, the suspect opened fire on them from the woods. Now, police say they are not sure how many people were actually shooting here. We'll be continuing to follow this on air and online at fox2detroit.com. All right, just look at this video. Minnesota was hit with some pretty strong storms overnight, and a full reckoning of the onslaught's true breadth and ruin is still being evaluated tonight. Many are still without power in the Twin Cities. This video comes from Isaac Guzman, which shows a tornado touching down in Canby. So far, 5 tornadoes have touched down between late Saturday night and this morning, according to the National Weather Service. Now, thank goodness we have nothing like that brewing this way. But
That's right.
We do have some active weather.
That's right. We will likely see some showers and storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, but we do not anticipate widespread severe weather. I'll show you where the action is right now. Hillary, you can see there are some showers and storms crossing central Lake Michigan. Also, some showers and storms pretty close to Chicago right now. We had a beautiful weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We did have some thunder showers way back for Friday evening, but right now, all quiet out there. Look at the daytime highs today. We topped out at 86. Look at Chicago, 94 degrees, 90 as far north as Oshkosh, Wisconsin. There's 87 around Alpena. Right now, very quiet. Temperatures coming down just a bit. Thankfully, there's not a lot of humidity. It's a little muggy out there, but mild at 76 for us. 81 Lansing, 80 degrees for Mount Pleasant and for Grand Rapids. How about some great late evening shots from the Mackinac Bridge? They're at 70 degrees. Not a whole lot of action at the bridge right now. We'll get down to 70. It stays mild. And then tomorrow afternoon, especially into tomorrow evening, we'll see some thunder showers cross the area. Then we have a long dry stretch Tuesday into the 4th of July. We'll check that part of the forecast coming up in 15.
M1 Concourse is a great entertainment venue for all sorts of activities, racing activities and car shows and also fireworks shows. So that's what we're about today.
Okay, let's get you some fun happening right now. Hundreds of hot rides lined up enjoying a resplendent and riveting show at the M1 Concourse. It's part of the 8th annual Cars Under the Stars Fireworks Spectacular. Folks could park and watch from the comfort of their cars, which is always nice. The family-friendly event also included food trucks, craft beer, and so much more. The show goes on for about another 20 minutes until 10:30.
It is up to us to make things happen. You know, nothing ever happens without action. So it is up to us to make the right things happen, to take the action and make the choice to get involved.
Michigan's Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, as a Democrat, of course, is aligned with his party and doesn't like President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. Critics say the bill would slash billions of dollars in Medicaid funding, while supporters back spending cuts and tax changes. The Lieutenant Governor, one of several local leaders speaking at tonight's 70th annual NAACP Fight for Freedom Fund dinner at Huntington Place. The event brings together folks to celebrate successes and continue the fight for freedom and justice.